Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj, and today we have Patrick Boylan with us. Patrick, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Atul. As we figured out, your name means something nobody can compare with, royalty, right? I'm like, oh, God, that's so perfect. That is so, we were just talking before the podcast, of course, and like that.
Yes.
So good.
And tell me about your name. What's the meaning of Patrick Boylan?
I don't know about Patrick. I've never looked that one up. Let me look that one up. Patrick meaning. Boylan is adventurous. Oh, okay. That actually makes sense. Nobleman or patrician. So the nobleman, adventurous pledger. I like that because that to me kind of encapsulates my leadership style, which I feel like I'm in service of the people that work below me. I need to do for them whatever they need, right? And so pledger, right, is somebody that pledges their service to something. And nobleman is like, the on high, right? The leader, the noble person. And so I think that makes a lot of sense. Noble, adventurous pledger. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Okay, so who gave you that name? Your mother, your father, your grandparents, who?
I think it's both. That is my great-great-grandfather's name, though, on my dad's side. So
okay, so
family.
He knows what you're going to do in the future. That's why he gave you that name.
I like it. I'll take it.
Okay, so for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm a music educator. I'm a pianist and singer. Here in LA, I've got 3 different gigs here in Los Angeles. I play background jazz at a couple restaurants, and then I played a piano bar here in Hollywood. But I'm also making a music education app. It's already out there in the world. People are using it and loving it. It's called MuseFlow. Teaches the way that I taught myself how to play piano all years ago. And I was like, one day I was like, well, if it worked for me and I'm a professional pianist, maybe it would work for everybody else. And so that's how the idea for MuseFlow kind of came to be.
Okay, so the idea came randomly or something happened?
I was bored one day, and I have always been told that creativity happens when somebody's bored. And no doubt that's exactly what happened for me. I was just sitting around one day. I was like, well, what am I going to do with my time? And boom, there you go. I was just like, well, and so I started pondering it. I was just, well, what if, And so I started coming up with the curriculum and the methodology.
Okay, so your company, MuseFlow, is reshaping skill building in music education. So can you share how your company is doing that?
Sure. The original way that we've been taught how to play an instrument for thousands of years, regardless of one's culture, has always been through notation. It's been through Western, well, at least what we use in Western society is Western notation. That is, you got the treble clef, you got the bass clef, and you've got lines of music going across screen. And you see the notes placed on that, and that represents the pitches. And then, of course, we can represent duration based on the type of note. That is Western notation. Okay. We've always used that. And I was like, well, I find that to be a very core principle that a lot of people don't necessarily focus on right off the get-go. Reading music at first sight, right? And so we've put that first. We said, let sight reading be the engine of our curriculum. And then once you've learned the concepts outside of the context of songs, let's just say music that you've never seen before that never repeats, right? That's what sight reading is. If you can play music at first sight, then you can play almost anything else. So if a concept that is exercised in sight reading shows up in a song, then you can play that, right? You can play that concept, right? And so that's what we do. We give you music that never repeats, that you've never seen before, at a very specific skill level. You exercise that one specific skill in isolation and then in the context of what you already know. And we've gamified it. You got to get 4 phrases of music in a row at 95% accuracy at the gold tempo to pass that level. And then once you've passed that level, songs get unlocked after that. And then you can apply the skills that you've learned to songs. We're just adding another step. Traditional methods of teaching always just go straight to songs, because there was no other way to teach. But the problem with that is that we're learning by rote. We're learning these songs, not the underlying skills that are necessary to play those songs, because we're only learning those skills in isolation in that one specific context of that one specific song. So we're adding a step before songs, basically.
Okay, so can you tell us, when someone is practicing music and they cannot able to access flow state, so what are the consequences?
You get bored, you get frustrated. Either of those two options, right? Either you're very bored with what you're trying to play, and it's just so easy that it's not challenging you in any possible way. As we know, humans need a challenge. We do. To keep us engaged with something, we need a little bit of a challenge, and I think that's a beautiful thing about humanity, right? And so either you can be bored by the task so that you just give up, you're just bored, right? Or you're too frustrated with the task. Maybe it's too difficult for you. And so you get very frustrated. You get your anxiety starts to go inside your body, and you start getting consumed with all of your failure and all you messing it up, and boom, you quit because you're overwhelmed by it. Those are the two options. Flow state, if you try to engage somebody in flow state, whether that's through performance, sports, a lot of sports, they talk about flow state all the time. You know, you got to be right there where that skill matches the challenge, where that challenge is just a little bit outside of the skill level that you've got, so that you're engaged with the process of doing. You're engaged with the present. We can also talk about that with learning. It's the same thing. We engage you at that very specific skill level and that's very specific challenge, just right outside of your comfort zone, so you're not overwhelmed or you're not bored.
Okay, so what do you think? What are the bad habits like which people have that are stopping them from accessing flow state?
I think people can get overwhelmed by failure. I mean, what do you think, right? Like if you're messing up constantly and it's just way too overwhelming and you're like scared and you're frustrated, like that could definitely be a problem for you at succeeding in a task. What do you think?
Okay. My question was like, what are the habits?
Habits.
Yes.
Well, I think a habit is to be consumed with not wanting to fail in any possible way. I think that can be a habit. You know,
Mhm.
you're so scared of failure that you don't want to try anything new. That's a habit. Now, if we're not trying anything new, we're not learning anything new. And if you want to learn, failure is going to be a part of the process. It's nearly inevitable. So
Yeah.
I do think that there is a habitual nature to not wanting to fail. And I think that that's a problem that MuseFlow is definitely trying to solve. We're trying to make failure just very much a part of it. Like you just play a wrong note, it's not a problem. Let it wash over you. Roll off your shoulder. You just got to keep playing. You got to keep up with that cursor as it goes across the screen, and you've got to play those notes in time with that cursor. You know? So we get you into that flow, that rhythm, that constant beat. Boom, boom, boom. The metronome is going, and you're just constantly playing, and you just got to keep going with that beat. You can't really stop, otherwise the program will stop. You just keep going. That's the
Okay.
flow that we lock you into.
Yes. You know what? I was about to ask a question, then I forgot because I was too focused on what you're saying.
I mean, like, tell me I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because like you're into martial arts, you're into boxing, right?
Yeah.
And so what do you think about failure? You know, what do you think about that concept? I do think that it can be habitual. It's like shying away from any type of failure. I think that's a habit that we unfortunately can get ourselves into.
Yeah, actually, here's the thing. When someone is like afraid, they don't take action because they know they can fail. So the best
Yeah,
thing is not to think about that. Like, be too much focused on doing the tasks that you don't even think about anything else.
exactly. Yes. Be so focused on doing the task that you don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what flow state can overcome. It can help you overcome your fear of failure.
And yeah, like, what do you think? How does boredom affect flow state?
Well, boredom can be the thing that truly is antithetical to flow state. You're bored. You're not challenged enough, right? And so you can't be in flow state if you're bored. Then you're not present. You're thinking about something else. Your mind is wandering. You're going onto a whole nother tangent.
Okay. So, what about getting bored in normal life? Okay. Suppose someone is always using social media and getting distracted all the time. Okay. So, does that affect accessing flow state?
Yeah, because you're constantly being distracted. What's necessary for flow state is also the deep concentration in the present. And if you're constantly absorbed in the bite-sized dopamine hits of social media, you're constantly stimulating your brain in not the present. You're not there. You're not engaged with something real and material. Yeah, I think that is a major issue that we have
Yeah.
as a society.
I think that's why even if people want to do it, they cannot able to.
Right. Because they're so addicted to the small, tiny dopamine hits that social media gives you.
Yeah, I hate social media.
I do too. But unfortunately, I'm also addicted. I'm a byproduct of today's culture. I really am.
Okay, you know what? I will tell you how I do it, okay?
Tell me, please.
I wake up, I don't touch my phone, I do all the work, all the copy stuff, 1 p.m. That is the time I turn off my airplane mode, okay? Then I check my phone, and after that, put my phone on the drawer again. Then I
Nice.
only pick it up at night.
That's
Because,
great.
yeah, because it phone is stopping us from doing the important work. We could achieve so much more if you don't get distracted. If we access flow state, we can do like hours of tasks, okay, hours of practice in very little time, and we still learn more. Our skill developed more in less time,
Mhm.
and it will not going to happen if we just stay distracted and dopamine it. Yeah,
Yeah, totally. It's a major, it's an epidemic in our society. It is people addicted to the small, tiny little dopamine hits that social media gets you. Truly distracting from what matters most. I think the thing that we're not recognizing is that these skills that we can learn, or performing or doing something that is ingraining us and just engrossing us in the present, that has this like sort of long-term benefit that is hard for us to kind of logically understand in the present. It's hard to train our brains to crave that instead of the dopamine hits, because the dopamine hits are immediate, but the long-term concentration of something in the present is going to be so beneficial to us in the long run. It's hard for us to kind of like, we get it conceptually, but it's hard for us to really feel that, you know?
yeah. So, can you talk about the neuroscience behind flow state when practicing music?
Yeah, flow state, we don't really think about that in traditional music education. We don't think, well, how to game lessons for flow state. How do we do that? We've never had an opportunity to be able to dynamically adjust the complexity of music on the fly to somebody who's playing, or to let them, the user, the student, dynamically adjust the music to work for them. It's always been a very one-size-fits-all mentality with traditional music education. So what we're saying is there's a different way. We're saying there's a way for you to find that pocket for yourself. And we've gamified it. We've given you levels of difficulty. Our first unit is 27 levels, from level 0 to level 26. And so you can choose where to put yourself into the curriculum and how difficult you want the music to be. You can decide that. You can decide what challenge you want to take on that day. So we've kind of bridged the gap between open world and campaign mode a little bit. This open world is this sort of like, well, here's the ecosystem for you to kind of explore, go explore it on your own. And the campaign mode is, here's a very structured curriculum. Follow each level one and one, and then go and learn the songs, and then go back to the level, learn the songs, back to the level, keep doing that back and forth, and boom, you've learned the entire unit. We've kind of soft unlocked everything here, right? We've let everything be an open world, but we also push everything to you very gently. We say, go explore these repertoire, these songs, right? You've completed level 17. Go explore these 5 songs that got unlocked at the end of level 17. If you don't want to, no problem. You can just go on to the next level if you want to. You can go back. Or we've given you free play mode where you can actually just play whatever you want at whatever level you desire for as long as you want at whatever tempo you choose, That sort of opportunity allows for people to find their flow state, whatever they want to play at whatever difficulty they want. It allows them to find their own flow state. And I think that's so important, something that we've missed in traditional education. What entertains you today? What do you want to try today? not what does your teacher assign you today. Granted, we do have teachers that use this. We have teachers that assign students levels, and then they go home and practice those levels as their homework, and then in the lesson, they work on the songs. Because that is very intrinsically just so human. Musicianship is what we call it. Your decision on how to play that song. Why do you want to play a song a certain way? How do you want to play a song a certain way? Do you want a crescendo here? Do you want a decrescendo here? Do you want to play it staccato or legato? How do you want to play it? It's up to you. And so that's what in lesson becomes. It becomes this very, very flow state. Still, very musicianship. You and your teacher deciding on how you want to play the song together, and then practicing that and performing that for the teacher. And then being like, no, let's change it this way. Actually, I think it'll sound better this way. Great, let's try it. Go for it. And then you do. And then boom. It's such a collaboration at that point, right? Anyway, that's how we're kind of optimizing music education for flow state. And it's one of those things that we just never really thought about since we never had the opportunity to do it for thousands of years. Now we do.
You know what? Like the way you describe your company, it is going to make all the students learn faster because it is going to work as a game. Yeah, they're going to addicted to improve in music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a game. I mean, I'm a gamer. I play video games, and I see how they get you so addicted to the process of playing that game. They've also gotten you addicted to the process of learning how to play a game up top. They use concepts called just-in-time learning, which is, here's a concept that is immediately applicable to what you're learning next. Here's a concept, now go immediately apply it. It's called just-in-time learning. And that is what video games utilize. They use that type of learning in their tutorials. The tutorials last for hours because you're so engaged in the process of doing that you're not even thinking, oh, wait, this is also something that I'm learning. And so we've decided to do that as well. We've given you a concept in an interactive tutorial that is engaging. It's a video, right? And you're engaging with the video. We're using a game engine called Phaser to do that. And it's this interaction between you and what is written on the music. It's right there. And you see the concept. Here's a new note. Go immediately play it on your keyboard. Boom. Great job. Now, here's a new note in a new rhythm. Now go play that. Boom. Great. Well done. It's that sort of type of gaming mentality that we've applied to music education. Absolutely. You're completely right about that.
Okay. So what's the biggest challenge you see students and educators facing in today's rapid changing world of music?
I think it's adjusting. We've been steeped in tradition for thousands of years, the way music has been taught. It's been steeped in tradition and structure and this one-size-fits-all mentality. My pledge for my students is that I'm going to constantly be looking for new tools, constantly be looking for new ways to improve my methodology so that I can improve your learning. And I give the same challenge to everybody else. Find new tools, find new ways of learning, see if they work for you and your students. And if so, continue to use them. Don't try to do this one size fits all because it's easier for you, the teacher. No, we're here to teach. We're here to give you the best tools for success. And if you find something that is engaging and extraordinary and you're like, oh my God, this is so different, but it so works for me, show it to your students. Adaptability is the thing that I would say to any teacher out there.
You know what? I think the way you guys are doing it, nobody's doing like this. Yeah, like it's really impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, this is ultimately the way that I was taught, right? I taught myself how to play piano this exact way. So it's replicated a little bit differently. I didn't necessarily learn through sight reading. No. The way that let me back up, right? So the inspiration for this was the way that I taught myself. I took 8 years of lessons and I hated every second of it. I didn't enjoy it because I was learning only songs by rote. And then I never was able to play anything else outside the context of those one specific songs. It took hours and hours and hours of practice, these one specific songs over and over and over. And I wasn't learning the fundamental skills that were necessary to play those songs. 8 years after me starting lessons, my parents having to ground me because I didn't practice, my teacher retired, and I ended up going, I took a break from piano for a while, and then I ended up going back to my parents' sheet music. They had all these scores, musical theater scores, because my parents they're actors and musicians in their own right.
Mhm.
And so I went to my parents' sheet music, and I was like, I'm going to play this song verbatim. I'm going to play it. And I plucked it out, note by note by note. And eventually I ended up finding a little part of a song that I really enjoyed. A little phrase, whether that's a rhythmic pattern that it really tickled me somehow, or it sounded beautiful to my ears, the harmony and the dissonance, whatever it may be. I ended up just repeating that phrase over and over and over, putting it in. I closed the sheet music and I committed it to memory. And then I just started improvising around that phrase, putting it in different contexts. I put it in my right hand. I put it in my left hand. I played it backwards. I changed the time of it, right? Maybe it was broken up into 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I broke it up into 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I emphasized different beats. I changed the key, right? I played it lower. I played it higher. I really fleshed it out. And I was like, wow, that was really fun, right? And so then I just kept doing that. I kept doing that over and over and over for years. Cut to college. I was the only acting major that could play piano. And so all of these musical theater majors were coming up to me being like, Pat, I want to play this song. I want to sing this song. I want to practice this song for an audition that I've got. And I'm like, cool, throw it in front of me. Let's see what's up. And so they throw the music in front of me. Never seen the song before. I could play it. I wasn't messing them up. And I was like, well, why can I play that? And I realized that what I was doing throughout my education, taking these bite-sized chunks and then improvising around them, I was really learning that specific core chunk very, very well. And as we know, music repeats itself all the time. And I was doing that with all these chunks that were showing up in different songs. So when they threw the sheet music in front of me for a song I never knew, I had never played before, I knew the chunks though. I knew what was showing up in those songs because I had played it in all these different contexts before. And so that is the inspiration for MuseFlow. We're giving you the rudiments. We're giving you the core concepts that make up music. We're giving you notes and rhythms and how they all combine. And we're saying, I'm going to give that to you in all these different contexts that never repeat so you can truly learn that rudiment. And then once you've mastered that rudiment, you can then go apply that to the songs that get unlocked at the end of the level. So that's how I learned. It worked for me. I'm a professional pianist now. We made it into an app. And so now you all can try it yourself, and people are loving it.
Okay, so for the people who want to try that, where can they go?
Just go to our website, museflow.ai, and you can start off on the web. We're building the app right now. We've got the web app. The web app through the browser is good to go. You can play that, and you can play the repertoire through the browser right now. For a downloadable app onto your tablet or your phone, we're building that as we speak. So the iPad app will be out in the next couple of months. A tablet app will be out in the next 3 or 4 months. iPhone app will be out in the next 6 to 12 months. So slowly but surely kind of, releasing those trickle by trickle. But everything is available for you in the web right now. You can go to our website, start your free trial from there.
Awesome. So is there anything else that you would like to share?
I'd love to give your listeners a coupon code if you're interested.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. I mean, can we call it Genius 50? Genius 50. And so that gives everybody 50% off for life. That whatever subscription you choose, it gives them 50% off for life. And so if you want to learn how to play piano right now, go for it. That's available to you. I'll make that right after the end of the podcast. So it'll be available to you when the podcast is released. Genius 50.
Awesome. You're so generous.
Hey, you're so generous, man. What are you? Wait, what was it again? What was your name? Shoot, what was the name?
Atul Raj.
Yeah, no, what does it mean again?
Meaning of Atul or Raj?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Okay, meaning of Atul is someone or something nobody can compare with. And the meaning of Raj is rule, kingdom, authority, or you can say royalty or kingly.
Nobody can compare with royalty. I love it.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
that's you, man. That's you.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Patrick, it was awesome talking with you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. You're great. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. But not in a gay way, not in a gay way.
Sure, sure.
Okay, okay. Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Yeah.